I think with my sound, none of it is a premeditated thing, and maybe that's like the beauty of it. I've worked in several record stores for the past 10 years now, which makes me feel old. But yeah, there's just obviously been exposed to so many genres, so many things. And even when I worked in a record store, I always had a problem with categories and the genres as such. You know, like we'd always argue, like Arthur Russell, like where do you put him, like disco or like folk or like, no, just give him his own section. You know, let him just live within his means as an artist and a name, and allow that to be an open thing, you know. But as humans, we want to define so much what everything is instead of just connecting with the sound. So that's kind of just the way I think, and the way I work is the same thing. It's like I take whatever interests me in that moment and go with it. So in terms of production, if I feel I want to write some harder techno beats and I'm in that mood, that's what comes out, you know. And then the same for the ethereal. If I want to escape somehow or allow other people to escape, I create something a bit more immersive. And then, yeah, sometimes those things come together to create something else entirely. So, yeah, it's just being free and allowing myself that freedom and not caring what anybody else thinks. You know, in a healthy sense, you have to work with your own essence and honor yourself and your creativity and, yeah, stay true, I suppose. Yeah.
Do you think that the format that you use for creating music influences that process? Like I think you work a lot with analog, right?
Yeah, analog is I'm attracted to analog just because of usually the warmth of the sound. So I see it and I hear it as like a rounded sound. Um, yeah, analog is just something that I started using when I saw Daniel Avery and Ghost Culture in their process, and it was something that was really like tangible. So you can go up to a synth and you can tweak it there in the moment, and it's with your hands, and it's this connection. And instead of just a kind of plug-in on a laptop, which I use as well, but analog is like the thing that just feels real to me, and it's solid and I can see it and I can hear it and it's instantaneous. And so it's all those things. It's the sound and then it's just the process, which like I enjoy as well.
You had a pretty musical upbringing. Like you play the drums and you play in a choir and everything. How did you get into electronic music at the beginning?
um I used to hate is a strong word, but I didn't used to enjoy dance or dance music when I was younger growing up. It was only when I moved to London and I started working at a record store called Pure Groove, and I met Daniel Avery, and the record store was opposite Fabric, like huge club in London. And we would get free tickets and I'd be like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll pop in. And slowly, seeing people just kind of be in a moment and enjoying and connecting, and the amount of bass and the kind of big systems, and it was like, oh, okay, this is fun. And then seeing Dan DJ, and then, like I said, going into the studio with Daniel Avery to do the sessions for his album Drone Logic was when it really captured me. So in a way, that was my beginning. It was all very organic because, like I say, I didn't like it. I wasn't interested because I thought it was too easy, and there was no heart in the music, which is okay. It doesn't always have to be heart necessarily, but I always connected to something more like melodic and lyrical, but yeah, just organically, as with everything, everything has its time and its place, and just seeing the process was the thing that made me respect the music, the genre, whatever you want to call it, like dance as a whole and analog production as a whole. And so, yeah, from that moment, really, I was like, wow, yeah, seeing analog production in real time and hearing what you could coax out was the thing that actually gave birth to this idea that I could incorporate that into music I wanted to make.
That's really interesting. Like it seems that electronic music is really experiential, and
Yeah.
like both from the
Not just music, right?
exactly, it's like both from the user side, like the listener, as well as the producer.
Mm-hmm.
Like really influences the way we
What do you mean? Sorry, the
like experience part to it, like both as a dancer or as a listener, like
yeah.
going into a club and experiencing it.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Like because it's like I've said this before, but like Berghain, I've been once, and I played next door at the cantina, and I got like escorted into Berghain, and I was like, wow, okay, let's experience this. And I was completely sober, you know, and for me, like music is cheesy, but like music is the drug. I don't need anything else. I don't drink much, like. And I went in there, and it was this huge, almost like palatial thing, you know, big ceilings, or like a cathedral. And it felt like a place to worship the music. Like, that's how I felt with it. And it was great because in club situations, you're here with so many people. So you're sharing an energy, but at the same time, you're having your own experience. And because there's like not always, you know, too many lyrics, there's space, it's just the music, you can kind of you go in to somewhere else. It's like a meditation, and I think like that's what trance like refers to as well. And that's the thing, it's not just kind of, you know, going to my gong sound baths and the healing hippie sense, you know. Dance music also has its place in allowing people to escape in a healthy way, you know, having your individual experience and then a collective experience at the same time. So yeah, I now really appreciate those places, and I understand why people go every week or whatever, you know. I don't personally, but I understand it and I respect it.
That's very interesting because Lucy from Stroboscopic Artifacts talks a lot about that. Like, he reads this in a really anthropological way.
Yeah.
And he says that without those collective experiences that are at the same time really introspective,
Yeah.
that's what gives the scene, you know, the light it has. Really.
Yeah, that's the thing. No, maybe just in this kind of age of we're kind of becoming more like collectively conscious of everything. We understand the impact of everything upon everybody else, you know. And so now we're looking at music as not just being meditative for the person who makes it or plays it. Obviously, as a listener, in any sense, we know how much music saves people and means to people and can give people. And personally, like, I'm looking into doing an exhibition in relation to sound and healing, and so like frequencies. And I did research, and I discovered you know, just online, just seeing like a TED talk about how specific resonant frequencies can shatter cancer cells. The power of sound literally can potentially heal and cure. So it's something that's we're just touching the surface of. So yeah, it's a really like exciting time to talk and to experience sound in that way.